This is Caitlin.
This is Robert.
And this has got a swing.
Week 2.
That's
Session
right.
3.
Working.
May, June.
Yep. Working on parade stuff.
Boogie routine.
Yep.
Tips and tricks and dips.
So we started off with our warm-up, and we had 2 things we worked on. First, we worked on general swing out theory and adding fast swing out rhythm to that. So again,
we practiced our regular swing out and cleaned it up to make sure we were all on the same page.
So regular swing out, we want to get a nice stretch on 4. We're inviting our follow with this hand to like turn and face us on like that 3, but we're catching by 4. So
we switch places. 1, 2, 3, and
stretch,
4.
Right? And then on this leg that you can't see because it's the one away from the camera. I'm going to pivot on that. 5, let go, 7, and stretch.
And we practiced a pretty linear swing out. It's one of Robert's and I preferred. Some people might call it more of a Hollywood style swing out. There are other shapes, but it's a lot about the follow going straight at the lead getting just out of the way and redirecting them with the catch at the last minute.
Yep. So again, we practiced that and really making sure that we had that stretch on 4 so that we're nice and connected, because that gives us options with moves, which we then added an outside turn.
Just for fun in our Tuesday
because
class.
Because we could, right? So we worked on that. Then we worked on what if the music's so fast that you don't have time for those triples and Caitlin doesn't have time to do all the running around. Mm-hmm. First thing we did is we modified our rhythm by taking out the triples. So instead of a step, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, we did step, hold, step, hold.
So much easier.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So same counts, much less movement. But because there's less movement, I've got to help Caitlin create the shape a little bit differently.
Yeah, because I love when this still has that sweet stretched out 4, and I like to post and pivot on my foot. I think it feels really nice, looks nice, but that means if I'm pivoting, I can't really move. So if I'm the pivot point, Robert's got to make some adjustments, because normally when we triple, we have that triple to fudge the middle. And this time, I'm not going anywhere.
So we got a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So you'll notice, Leeds, you'll see I met Caitlin halfway so that her step was enough for us to get around each other and still get that stretch.
He met me. He also came around me a bit. So he's doing a little bit of a stretch around.
Yep.
Because I'm posting.
Yeah, because if we both go halfway, then it's enough for us to still get that stretch. And we also start this off with a bigger stretch, right? So there is a stretch to stretch, right? And you can see, Leeds, like this leg is really lengthened out, but this leg has gone all the way around. I still have that stretch between Caitlin and I so that I can 5, 6, stretch.
Now, each of you may look a little different, right?
Yep.
Your stretch may look a little different, feel a little different, but that's the general shape and the general feeling we're going for. We're going for that we factor on 3, 4. Follows get to stay in place, so leads have to come around and travel.
Then we turned it into a circle by holding on for 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got our 1, 2, stretch, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So I held on to my partner. I still had that sort of uphold moment, and then 8, I land on my foot, and we rock step for the 1, 2.
Don't overthink circles. You just don't let go.
Yep. So we practiced that. We practiced trying to do it and switching between our triples and doing the fast Lindy footwork. Then we took our Charleston basic and we started breaking it into its component parts. So we first made sure we all knew how to do the Charleston. We had our rock, step, a kick, hold, kick, rock, step, a kick, hold, kick, and rock, step. Once we had that, we made sure we flipped rolls because leads are going to need to be able to rock on their right. Follows are going to need to be able to rock on their left. So that looks like this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock, step, kick, hold, kick, rock, step, kick, hold, kick, and a rock step. I'm going to turn around so you can follow my feet on this one.
Well, I think they know.
Okay. Never mind. We're going to keep moving on.
I think for the next bit, maybe we'll.
So the next thing we did is we practiced breaking up the middle. So instead of going straight to the kick, hold, kick back, we were doing a bunch of kick, hold, kick steps in between so that our standing leg got used to holding for more than just the standard 2 counts.
And we reminded you, if you've taken a Caitlin and Robert class before, you know we teach the kick, hold, kicks in a warm-up in place to build up that rhythm and that strength. Some people haven't learned it in isolation. Where you have learned it is in that kick through Charleston. It's this move. Kick, hold, kick. Kick, hold, kick. Kick, hold, kick. Except we're pivoting. Many of you have learned that.
If you take that rhythm, take away the geography, do it in place, it looks like rock, step, kick, step,
kick, hold, kick. Kick, hold, kick, step. Kick, hold, kick, step.
Last.
Kick, step, kick, and back.
And rock, step. Now you can also extend that by doing it for a count of 8, which will give your standing leg a really good workout. So we're going to show it only once. 5, 6, 7, 8, rock, step, kick, step. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go, and the kick, and back, and rock, step, step. So again, that's just getting that standing leg used to holding your body and keeping the beat for longer than it normally would. And again, we were doing all this to help make your Charleston more flexible for when you needed it for things like the second move in the sequence, the cape.
The other thing, though, is throughout our time here, we are going to talk about modifications for different people for different levels of comfort, body type.
Yep.
So remember, you don't always have to do it as big as we do it. You don't have to do kicks. There is always a modification. For some folks, it could be that you kind of leave your foot in contact with the ground, right? So we could go do more of a shuffle step.
Shuffle and through, shuffle and through. Shuffle.
You can do, in some of our classes, we've taught this mambo step where you sort of, it looks more like a rock through. So instead of a kick.
And all these are just ways of you keeping your balance while still keeping that Charleston rhythm.
So same rhythm, but we're practicing ways that are maybe lower key, less kicking, more contact with the ground, helps with our balance.
Yeah. So after we did all that, we got to the sequence. Started with our quick review where, again, leads did a standard Charleston footwork, keeping it small and underneath them so they didn't kick the follows, while the follows did the following.
Well, first there's an 8. But
yep. So 5, 6, our heads are down. 7, 8, we look up. 1, 2.
Step, kick, step, 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 rock, step.
So during that time, leads, all I was doing was my Charleston rock step, kick, hold, kick, step. Caitlin was doing those kick steps with the step at the end.
Mm-hmm. And we broke that down in last week's video.
Yep. So once we had that, we're now doing the cape. And we're going to go through this a few different times. We're going to start with just the geography because there's a few different ways to do the rhythm. But the geography is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll notice right here at this moment, I kind of moved into Caitlin's hand as Caitlin came around. So it's like I took a cape and went, put it on.
Are we breaking it down? We're just do the whole thing.
We're just doing the geography. Once we're here, so this was 1 through 4. It's now 5, 6, 7, 8.
We did another half.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Another half.
5, 6, 7, and 8. So it's 2 counts of 8. What else do we need to talk about with the break?
Let's do that without the break, and then let's break it down. So just count it through so they can see it without the pauses.
Am I doing the full?
Same thing we just did, just don't pause.
So 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We were a little fast.
Yeah.
But that's closer to what it looks like without pausing. Now some tips or tricks. So even without the rhythm, there is a quick trick here to make this first move easy. A lot of people said, it feels like it's taking me too long to get around. And that's because there's a trick to this. There's a trick to make it easy. So if you don't know the trick, what might happen, you go 1, 2, and then the follow walks in a big circle around the lead. That takes a while. We can shorten that gap. So what we can do is we can go 1, 2, and then if Robert goes into my arm and switches places with me.
Almost like we're sliding doors moving around each other.
So if he goes into my right arm and he switches places with me, he takes a step to the right, I'm taking a step to the left. We essentially switch places, and that's why we can do that move so fast.
Can we show them from a different angle?
Yeah,
maybe?
absolutely.
So we're here. So again, we've got our rock step. And here on 3, and then on 4, I step into her arm. She's already where she needs to be.
In like 1 count.
And then we can 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're ready for that spin, right? So that's one trick. Other tricks.
That's what helps make it feel a little less frantic, that little bit.
Anything else?
What else? I mean,
Make sure to adjust to your partner's body type.
Yes. So a couple people said, depending on who they danced with, this cape fit felt uncomfortable or tight.
Sometimes the cape was a little too close.
A little too close, right? They're like, why is it so tight on some people and not on others?
So leads, if it feels like it's getting too close here in the shoulder to shoulder area, what you can do is this hand at the hip, you can send slightly behind your back.
Yeah, or just
space.
slide it around. The other thing is you don't need to grab my hand.
Right.
You can do it flat and put it over, and then you can give me room to slide.
And the follow can decide, this is how comfortable I am being close to.
Because if you're gripping my hand, I'm stuck. But if it's loose,
no one wants to be trapped.
Right now I'm trapped. But if he lightens it, I can go, I need a little space. And I was able to adjust a couple inches.
And now we're all having fun because we're where we're comfortable.
Same thing with this arm. If you're real tight and he tenses this arm up, I'm going to be real close. If he relaxes it just a little, we can add space. And depending on our body types, heights, you might need to adjust with each partner. But just know this is a guide and there is wiggle room always. But by having these sliding hands and think of them as a guide, not a, I have to hold on to you for dear life. Trust your partner. Yep. Give them some freedom of movement, and then you can
feel where they're at, and then
they can make some space.
They can adjust, and then you go the rest of the way around, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, and 4. For the leads, this hand that's going to initiate the turn, make sure you're not going out in front or trying to make a big like horizontal circle. The way I think about it is I just go down and release, and Caitlin will fill the spin.
We talked about this in the last video, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but we talked about, for many of you who learned the Texas Tommy, it's the same idea, that when we're in close, you actually don't need to stir the pot to get me to spin. Just by pushing that arm down and me having good frame, I'm going to go with that hand and it will make me spin. And it's nicer because when you stir the pot, I travel. When you push down, I spin on the spot, which is going to set me right in where I want to be.
Yep. Now that we're here.
Well, let's put that all together,
okay.
And then let's do the footwork.
Oh, we need to add the rhythm, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so first rhythm is just stepping through it, right? So we've got a 1, 2, 3,
Kick, step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, and 8. So again, that's the chill version.
So I just stepped. I chose to do my rock step, kick step, and then I stepped through the rest of it. I just kept my rhythm. I kept my counts. Perfectly fine. Same shape.
Yep.
Then I did like 2 other variations.
Okay, so the next one is like a step hold.
Excuse me, it's very dry in here. The next one, I did a step touch, which maybe looks a little nicer. Rock, step, kick, step, touch, step, stop, stop, bop, 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 bop. So I added a little something.
Yep.
The next one is I added a hop, but I didn't go full kicks. Rock, step, kick, step.
I have a hard time getting that rhythm right, but.
So I did hops, but I didn't go for the full kicks. Remember what, I think this was in the last video, but just to reaffirm, the choice made here is that leads get to alternate feet on the kick holds. Follows are going to, if you can, and that's why I'm giving you alternate footwork options. Most of our traveling is done on our center point, which is our right leg, because then we don't have as far to go, right? And we can have a balance point. But for me, the other side of that coin, the flip side of that coin, is that I'm stuck kick holding on the same leg for a long time. If I go for the full shebang.
Yep. We're going the full shebang?
Full shebang.
Okay, so leads, I'm going to be like alternating my kicks. So here you go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
Kick, hold, kick.
4,
1,
5,
2,
6,
3.
7, 8.
Rock step. We did it.
So that was the cape.
And in many ways, we said that's one of the trickiest moves, and it's up front. So we're doing great. Easier from here.
Now we're going to use that fast Lindy footwork to do a Lindy circle. So I'm
we're
going to bring
open.
my partner in, and I'm going to hold on to him. So again, I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
Now we're in side by side.
Right? So from this side by side where we landed, I'm going to use that 1, 2 to come apart so that we can hit on 4. Yeah, we're facing the crowd, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8. 1, 2,
3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now here, we're going to get to a kick through, but in an odd way. So it's going to be rock, step, kick, tap.
And you really don't have time for kick tap. It's rock, step, land.
Yeah. So rock, step, tap.
Land. Yep.
And then kick,
through,
pivot, kick. Kick, pivot, kick. Now
so we know this. We've reviewed it as a class. You know the kick throughs.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It just feels different because the entrance is different.
Yeah. So from that point, we did the kick through, and as that ended, we changed up the shape again. So we'll show you once this way, and then we'll talk through again.
Facing them, or?
Yeah, I think facing them.
Okay.
So now you are audience. So rock, step, tap, kick, pivot, kick, kick, kick.
Here's where it changes.
Yep. So right there,
I
Caitlin
stay the
finished the kick
same.
through normally, but I kicked behind on that 5,
Doesn't
6,
that look
7,
fun?
8. And then we stepped, back, forward,
Same
forward,
thing. Kick.
back, and stretch. So the tricky part with that is for follows, leads to make sure you're leading your follow in the shape they need to have while at the
You
same time
need to give us
doing your
space to
stuff.
do that turn because we're doing a quarter turn. Turn to the front, turn to face you. Turn to the front, turn to face you.
Yep. So again, this all comes from that kick
Leads
through
are
moment.
facing us the whole time, but they're kicking forward and back
Yep.
while we're pivoting.
So from that kick through, we've got that kick, pivot, kick. Here comes the change. Kick,
Hold,
pivot, kick,
kick,
forward,
hold,
back, back, forward,
kick,
forward,
hold.
back, and stretch. And that is the sequence that we've gotten up to this point. Did we want to show them everything from the top?
Do you want to
Okay.
do that chunk?
Yeah, let's do that chunk. So
So-
from the hits, we just came out of the Lindy circle. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Get with your partner.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Kick through
6, 7, 8. 1,
Forward.
2, 3, 4,
and back.
6, 7, 8. 1,
Forward.
2, 3, 4,
And back.
6, 7, 8. My counting may not have been exactly with the music, but you have the sense of the shape and what that section should look
We're
like.
aiming for you. Again, modifications always available. So always ask us if you don't know what the modification is. Generally, it's going to be to do more touches instead of kicks. Or we can teach you what we call a mambo step, where we step through the rhythm. Looks a little bit more like a rock step.
Yep. We did the frog jump in the last video. Was there anything else that we needed
Well,
to
you
cover?
wanted to put everything together.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so everything together, facing the camera?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's back up a little bit. I
Looks
think we're too close.
something.
We may have cut off our
Looks
heads.
something like this. Rock, step, kick. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2,
3, 4,
5, 6, 7,
7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Get with your partner.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You guys did awesome.
Yay!
We
And then
hope-
we did a bonus.
Oh, that's right.
Tips and trick dips, trick scenarios.
Which trick did we do today, Caitlin?
I'm glad you asked, Robert. The same one we did last week.
But we wanted to make sure that everyone had really good form with this one. So
we started the frog jump last week. Last week, I think we talked about how to safely, quietly, gently take off and land. I think we talked a bit about the timing. We talked about the different handholds. Let's talk about what nuances did we clean up this week.
leads, you got to make sure you give your follow a full 6 or 8 counts before doing it. So on the rock step, before you want to do the move, you say the move, right? So I'm here in normal
Because we're in
handhold,
social dance.
and I say frog jump.
We do a basic. During that, we switch the hand.
And now in this down, I'm waiting for my partner to jump.
And my timing is generally going to be full basic, and I'm going to go after the rock step. So the way we count, that would go 1, 2, 3 is my prep, 4 is my takeoff. 1, 2, 3 is my prep, 4 is my takeoff. Leads are in a role reversal. You can't anticipate. You're used to being on or ahead. You need to hope that your follow is consistent in their timing. Mm-hmm. You need to wait and feel for their takeoff before you boost behind. And this is going to take time for each of you to get used to.
Yep. So again, ideally it should be frog jump, 3 and 4, 5 and 6.
Switch the hands.
1, 2,
down, up, down. Now we didn't have you do full froggy legs yet. We were mostly doing straight.
Yep.
And trying to practice being safe and comfortable. One of the things we noticed we didn't talk maybe enough about last time was people were getting the ideas. They get that there's a change in a handhold. They kind of get the timing. They didn't quite know leads, especially. Like I talked to followers about you have this opportunity to straighten these 2 arms if you can and push a little bit. So follows, if you can on that 3, 4, 3, 4, I can try to extend my arms and give myself a boost.
Leads, I've got to give her something to push against if that's going to work.
So some people didn't know where this left hand ended up because I got people who put it really high. Or you were like, they're not quite sure.
I want to have it close to my center. And again, this is the ground for Caitlin. So I want to make sure it's a place where it's close to my body so I can hold it firm as she pushes in.
So I feel Robert right now bringing it in towards his center line, his core. Instead of out here where I think it's probably got more give, he's brought it in here where it's a little stronger.
Yep.
Blocked it in a bit. And it's sort of then at his waist, which conveniently for me is sort of my waist. But he's going to go down with me. And then does that hand mostly stay there or does it rise up a little bit?
What I think about leads is I've got my down, and as I feel Caitlin jump, I'm going to rise.
The whole frame.
My shoulder and hand kind of pushing at the same point, and I'm going to leave them extended. And as her weight comes down, I'm then going to let my knees bend to absorb the landing. These bend a little bit at the very end, but I want to resist a little bit as she comes down so that I don't give up too quickly. Now, you can go too long, but that's not the problem most people have. So start off trying to go too long, and when that happens, then you can make the adjustment back.
And I think we showed you in last week when it sort of goes wrong, when you don't hold enough or you hold too long. And we talked about follows then, counteracting that lingering by kicking my butt out a bit, because when I get held up for a long time, gravity starts to take me. And my butt starts to go and I start to curve under. So I counteracted that a little bit with my body. The other thing, so we're going to do this from a couple angles so you can see what Robert and I have worked up to. You may not have worked up to this point yet, right? And you're still learning each other. The other thing I find is this arm also goes for the journey. Yeah. So I found sometimes people got separation, and I generally don't want separation here. So that arm should rise up and try to maintain contact.
And you don't have to push a lot with this shoulder, but it should rise.
Yeah, so let's show our frog jump from a couple of different sides and see if you guys can see how Robert and I try to seek connection through the entirety of the move. The more we're connected, the more we're communicating, the more boost I get, the more support we have.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Frog jump.
Down, up. Ah, you see that nice contact? He had my arm the whole time. That was nice.
Okay, here we go again. 5, 6, 5, 6. Here we go.
Down, up. Yeah, see? So he had good contact the whole time on this side. So that's something to think about. Then you can watch this hand.
Whew. 5, 6, 7, 8. Frog jump.
So maybe you could see there, I tried to get a little straightening extension, and Robert was nice and strong.
And again, I kind of got it here and pushed up. But again, this isn't so much me like pushing with just my hands. It is my whole body extending, because I find that that is a much stronger position to work from.
Yeah. So it'll take a while to get this feeling, and because we are currently rotating, you know, you're feeling out each person. But this is, of the air steps, this is an easier one to try with people. Many of you have tried a simplified version of this in Goddess Swings warm-up at the big dances, where we do the hop, hop, jump. I know you know that one.
Yeah. And that's everything that we did this week. You guys were awesome. Was there anything else we need to touch on?
Just we love you.
Okay. See you in 7 days.